What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Yeah No No Yeah. We are back with another episode catching up on stuff, although this time, instead of recapping all of the movies that we've watched, me and Liam recapped all the music we've been listening to within the past month. As always, we have a variety of topics that we always open the episode with, everything from music to movies to even more crazy real life stuff and news stories, so always trying to keep it fresh and interesting for you guys. As always, if you're on Spotify, keep an eye out for the poll in the description of the episode and the timestamps if you want to jump to a certain point. Be sure to check out for our link trees in the description of the episode as well, so you can find us on our social medias. And of course, just a reminder, we do have a Patreon, so we really appreciate any support, big or small, that you want to give us. We're always looking for ways to improve the podcast. Speaking of improving the podcast, Liam figured out a way to have our screens recorded so you can actually see us during the episode. So if you check out our YouTube channel and if you listen to the podcast that way, you would actually be able to see us on screen as we're doing the episode to make it just more interesting and more engaging for you guys. There's a lot of funny reactions in there, so I hope you enjoy that. So yeah, that should be about it, and let's get into the episode.
Beautiful.
It's weird I don't hear yours.
I hear it every time, so it's fine.
Alright, well.
How do we start?
We are back. That is how we start now, just saying how do we start.
Pretty much.
Because it's how we start every time.
They can see us now. Give them a wave.
Yeah, they could see us. Hello. Yeah, I guess we could let people know what we're trying.
Okay, so I got OBS, and that's like a recording program where you can record video as well. So hopefully, if all goes well and there's no issues, we can post on YouTube with video as well. So if you prefer to watch our dumb faces, then you can. And it'll be better for like making highlights and shit like that. So yeah.
That'll be a lot better. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
It's still going to be edited though, so like we're going to be like jumping around in the place every now and then.
Yeah, which is probably for the best.
Yeah.
I don't want them seeing every little thing, just the stuff that needs to be seen.
Yeah.
A lot's changed since the last time we recorded in terms of patrons, because holy shit, we got two more.
Yes,
two more patrons. Woo! Thank you.
So
we got.
What do you want to do about this? Like, do you want to have them all at the start as well?
I say just let's simplify it and just shout them all out at the start and then the end, and then we'll figure out new benefits sometime.
Do the honors.
Okay, so
give her justice.
Here you go. You've been waiting for this, Kath.reviews. I know you haven't been waiting for it. You probably don't care, but I could stop poking fun at you now.
Yeah.
Because we could shout you out at the beginning. Fuck it. So Kath, my girlfriend, thank you for donating.
And thanks to my girlfriend, Julia.
Yeah.
Moving, and by the way, yes, it is 3 underscores. Moving underscore pictures on Instagram.
Glad we could settle that.
I was literally like re-listening to episode 20, and then I was just like, I need to check it now, and I did, and I'm like, fuck.
So yeah, Kath and Julia, thank you so much, of course, and thank you to Cam, who is our biggest patron. Thank you again. Means a lot. Cam A. Dak on Instagram.
Very nice. Hopefully we'll get to chat with him on this episode, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. And then our 2 new Patreons. First, we have our first guest on the podcast, Sarah's Popcorn Chat.
Mm-hmm.
And we need like some like clapping or some sound effect I need to put in.
You could do that. Yeah.
Like the editing. I don't know.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Very nice of you.
Yeah, Sarah, thank you. We'll
have to have her on again sometime.
For sure.
That was like a hard episode to do because it was like our first one with a guest, and it's like we had no idea what to talk about. We were just like, what are our recent watches? Yeah. I hear you're a gamer. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, we made it work, I guess. And then our most recent Patreon, Film Ardor, aka Amy.
Film Ardor?
So
it's Ardor Film.
Ardor Film. Sorry, oh my god. That was an honest mistake. She's gonna un-Patreon now. Just like stop donating. Ardor Film.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you so
That
much.
means a lot, seriously.
All the support is so nice. Thanks, guys.
It is nice, and like
The person that did the artwork for Yeah No No Yeah, like the one of me and Quinn just sitting on the couch and shit. Her name's Manu Film. Not Manu Film, Manu Art. This is what I get for being on Filmstagram for too long. I just call everyone Film something, you know. Her name is Manu Art. Very good at what she does, and I was thinking about like making her sort of come on as like a constant thing to do like every episode's artwork, so that it's not just the same artwork every time. So if we can get her to do that, then that'd be great. I can't pay her right now because I'm very broke, but with your Patreon money, Liam can eat.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to donate. Oh my god.
It's like one of those commercials in like where they have a starving kid in Africa and it's like just 99 cents a day and you can feed this child. I mean, no, but like also with the Patreon support, not only are you like helping support the show, but you're actually helping support the show, because I imagine that would go towards like, you know, having like this episode artwork done and stuff here and there. It's like actually going into the podcast, which is fine with me. So it's not just going in our pockets. We're not just taking your money. No. Trust me, it is to improve the podcast for sure.
Yeah. So regardless of, you know, how much you donate or whatever, like, or how much you support us, like every bit just counts. You guys are helping out a lot, and we appreciate it so much. I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry yet.
You can see my face now anyway, it's emotionless. Like they'll know I'm lying.
Oh man. He's crying on the inside. Before we get into obviously like the main what we're talking about this episode, did you have any topics? I have like 4 topics, but they probably won't last too long, honestly.
I didn't write like too many down or anything. I have like 2 ones that like one will probably be relatively chunky, I guess, and the other might be a little bit, I don't know, but I mean,
nice and chunky.
I'm pretty sure the chunky one is like both of us. I think we know exactly what it is.
Oh,
you know?
well, now I know what you're talking about, but I didn't even include that in my topic.
Did you
thing.
not?
I just assumed that was because I just assumed like that's its own separate segment now, apart from the topics.
Yeah, it is.
Like, so maybe we should knock that one out of the way and then get into our other topics.
Oh,
if
worried.
you want, I need like an intro for this now. Yeah. Welcome to the Kanye Corner.
What's he done now? He's basically destroyed this segment because I don't want to talk about him after this.
I know it's. For those who don't know, he did an interview with Alex Jones, and he said that like he likes Hitler or something like that, or he, like there's good things about Hitler. I don't know what exactly.
Good things about
I watched
Hitler,
the clip
good
once.
Things about Nazis. He at one point said, you know, I'm sick of us lumping Hitler and Nazis with the word evil. And it's like, Kanye, dude, please. Wow, please. Like, no. I can't do this shit anymore, really, because it's like, you can pick apart so many good things that he said throughout his whole life and like little bits of it here and there, but those little bits have become like so much smaller now to the point where I can't like, I don't like this guy anymore. I don't want to defend him ever again. Because it's just like, he's fucking nuts now.
He is nuts. I mean, but it's not... I feel bad for him at the same time, but also I'm like, I have to distance myself now because like... Yeah. Even like playing his music now, it's just, I mean, for myself, it's totally fine because I'm willing to separate the art from the artist, you know, like he's just saying bad shit. Like he's not actually, it's not like a Harvey Weinstein situation here where he's been committing acts of whatever, but he's saying really bad shit. So at this point though, it's Kanye. So like part of me just wants to chalk it up to always like, if he's just saying things, it's to get a rise out of people and stay relevant and have people talk about him. And it's working. If that's why he's saying this stuff, it's working. But if he actually means it, that's a whole nother story. So
that's the problem. I think he does mean it right now. Like with all of this shit. I'm gonna say this right now, and it's gonna sound bad, but like consider that Hitler was an artist, yes? Like he made art. The art was good, right? But that doesn't mean you can call him a good figure because the bad, like, substantially outweighs the good with Hitler. Like, it is fucking beyond my belief that Kanye can, like, just call him an outright good person or something like that.
I could just imagine if we were, like, a big podcast, the headlines now would be, it would be taken out of context, and it'd just be, like, Liam on Hitler, and then, quote-unquote, he did good things, Because they just take one little
God
bit.
damn it.
Because that's what I assumed. That's what I assumed they did with Kanye. At first, I saw it and I was like, "Oh, it's just the media like trying to paint Kanye to be a bad person and a crazy person again." Like, I'm gonna watch the full clip, and I bet they took it out of context. But no, they didn't. So now I'm like, "Shit, they were right."
Did you
And
see
he's
the clip of
talking
him
like
as
a
well, like
puppet?
talking to the net? Yeah, the net thing.
That's what I was. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, my jaw kind of dropped. I was like, he's fully off the rails now.
He is. He's gone
Like-
fucking insane. Like, I feel like his
going
IQ has
off.
just gone way down or something like that. And maybe it's the meds. I don't know, but
He's either on too many meds or he's off the meds. I don't know what the deal is, but like either way, it's sad because like he didn't always used to be like this.
no, he didn't.
And I just want him to get back to when the craziest thing he did was name his kid North, you know, like
Yeah,
come on. And then make good music.
I can never, I mean, unless he does something like outright horrific and like, you know, does something like physical where it's like, I can't do this shit anymore. Like, I'm still going to listen to his music and I'm still going to enjoy it because like one, it's from a different time before he was doing all of this shit. And two, you can just look at it as a different thing because it's not the same as just him like going on an interview and like talking about how much he loves Hitler. Like you can't compare that to, I don't know, lyrics from Graduation or something like that. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they are, at this point, they are practically like two different people, the new Kanye and the old Kanye. I mean, it's starting to feel like he even has like a, literally like a split personality disorder because they are so different. So, I mean, I'm willing to set aside the crazy shit, appreciate just the music. I'm not saying, I can't say like he's a good person or anything now, but I'm just saying like, yeah, he makes really good music. It's not like he's committing terrible acts of crime. He's just saying crazy, provocative shit. So, I mean, it's really tiresome, but oh well.
Yeah, it's rough to watch. Really rough to watch,
Yeah.
especially like someone that you have admired for a bit. Now it's just like this downward spiral for the last couple of years. And this is all I can take now, you know? Like I can't do it anymore. But I won't go to the extent that some people are. Like I saw like videos of people like getting their whole like Kanye vinyl collection and throwing it in the trash. It's like, why?
Of course.
It's music.
I knew people would do that. I don't know. It's, people can do whatever they want and they probably just view it as like hate speech and all that. So I understand, but I still am willing to separate the art from the artist, even when it comes to people like Kevin Spacey, who I realize has been accused of terrible shit, but I can still appreciate like his performance in House of Cards. I'm not saying he's a good person at all.
Yeah,
but
no.
I'm just saying, like, for me, I've become really easy to just separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, I think it's an easy thing to do, but a lot of people disagree for some reason. So
Yeah, let's just hope that Kanye goes back up, just goes on an upward spiral, please. I'm too afraid to see what happens next. Like, he's gonna have people like coming after him, I feel like, to hurt him now after
I don't know
everything
how
he's
much
saying.
he's gonna come back from this. Really,
I
this
don't
is
know
just a
either.
really
I don't know
big
if he
one.
will. It is like, but I mean, he still has his own production company, right? I mean, he still can make music on his own. It's not like everybody can drop him from all this stuff. I mean, I feel like he could still try and be successful, but he's really making it hard for himself. Like, this is not the way to do it.
I'm wondering if like you know, things like Spotify or whatever would ever drop him or whatever, or like not post his music.
Oh God,
You know,
they probably would.
they might.
They probably would. I didn't even think about that. Oh, that would suck.
Yeah, it would.
All of his albums taken out of my library, and like some of my favorite albums, you know, Yeezus and 808s, Just Like You.
Yeah.
Like, imagining not being able to listen to that on like my playlists or like songs, that sucks. Like, I would.
That'd be horrible. Most of my
So let's just
Kanye
hope
is
it
like
doesn't come to
downloaded
that.
on my Apple Music though, at least. So like I'm safe, I guess. But like, I mean, yeah,
Guess,
I would
yeah.
like some of his hits on my Spotify. Jesus.
I might just have to buy like an old iPod Shuffle and just download all of his songs on that just to keep a storage of his songs. Yeah,
Those were the
or
days.
something. They were. Yeah, anyway, that's Kanye. That's the Kanye Corner this week.
Yeah, it's just hard to talk
Not
about
very
sometimes,
fun.
you know? Like, it's, oh boy. Give me a good topic. Lift my spirits.
Yeah, please. One other little thing about Kanye was that I saw him. He was selling $1,000 clothing for like $20 to people in like New York or something. I don't know where he was. So I guess he was trying to give back to the people. There's one little good thing.
That
I don't know.
It feels like a publicity stunt, doesn't it?
Yeah,
At this point?
at the same time, I mean, both of them can kind of feel like publicity stunts, to be honest. One is just saying crazy shit to have his name all over the media, which works, and then the other is doing something nice. So, like,
But then
I guess
I
both could
look
be,
at the stuff like you know, him like fucking around with the little net puppet thing, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like it's something that is, you know, trying to make him look good or trying to make it look bad. That felt like a moment where it was genuine, the way he's actually losing it, and I'm like, this is actually sad to watch.
It was sad seeing that, but
yeah. I don't want to talk about Kanye anymore.
Me neither. It's just sad at this point. It's crazy how we're just documenting, though, like, how it progresses. Like, I mean, we're following it in real time.
See, what I said on, like, the last episode, I'm like, you know, he's going to do something crazy within a fortnight, and what do you know? Like...
But that's the thing. He keeps topping himself. He keeps going crazier.
What's the next thing going to be? Is he gonna
We're gonna
break into someone's house? Oh my god!
We're gonna look back on this Hitler comments and probably think that was tame compared to whatever he's gonna do next. So that's what scares me.
Yeah.
But as long as it's all just talk and he's not doing anything, like that's the thing. On a lighter note, I can get into one of my smaller topics.
Please do. Yes.
I'm gonna go in order of least exciting or like tame to like fucking crazy. The first one I have, it's just a little thing. You know, the trailer for the Indiana Jones 5 dropped, as well as the trailer for the new Guardians. First, about the Indiana Jones.
Let's not forget Transformers.
Oh, fuck. Transformers.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch any of the trailers because if I'm already going to see the movie, I don't need to see the trailer. But I did see one screenshot from the Indiana Jones 5.
I haven't seen any Indiana Jones, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I saw like one still from the movie, and I didn't even know it was from the new movie. I saw it, and I genuinely thought it was young Harrison Ford from one of the old movies.
Yeah,
but then I later
that.
came to realize it was de-aged, and I was like, that's de-aged. So I think it's gonna be really,
it looks good.
I think it's gonna be good. It just blew me away, like seeing how they made him look so young. So.
It's crazy.
And also I love Phoebe Waller-Bridger, so I don't care if they're turning Indiana Jones, or I don't care if he's passing the torch on or passing the whip on to a woman, whatever. People can, I don't care about that. Like, she's great, so she can do whatever she wants in that franchise.
Well, it's not like he can keep going until he's like in a wheelchair and shit, you know, like it's
Yeah,
fine
true.
to pass
He'll
on
be-
the torch, I guess, but also
He'll be rolling his wheelchair away from that giant boulder coming after him or whatever.
Oh my
But
God. But no,
yeah,
it's like,
I mean, they can.
the only problem that I have with stuff like that is just like feeling like you need to constantly continue a franchise. Like you could just have something that is maybe from like the same creators or something like that follows like a sort of similar style if they want to do something like that.
That's true.
I don't know. It's like franchises, they keep on going forever, you know.
Yeah, same with the Transformers, like you just said, just keeps on going.
I mean, what happened with that was like I saw that like the trailer dropped, and like right before they show the actual trailer, sometimes they show like a little clip like for 2 seconds or whatever. And there was like this one of like a car driving up, and then this dude like casually like getting out of it with a backpack, and I was like, this looks so bad. Like it like transformed into like a transformer, and he like got out of it at the same time while it was like drifting in, and it looked terrible. I gotta like show you it if you haven't seen that, because man,
I have not seen any of it. All I saw was a still that looked like a big metal King Kong. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's because it's like Transformers are bringing in like actual beasts now. Isn't that what it's called? Like Rise of the Beasts or something?
Yeah,
shit?
it's something like that. Something like
man.
that.
Oh,
It's
it
just,
looks-
I'm not into it at all.
I've only seen like the first Transformers and the first one with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, God.
And that one was fucking... I saw it twice in cinemas, that one with Mark Wahlberg, and I think that's where my hatred stems from. But I don't know why I saw it twice. I think I have no idea. I can't remember that.
Yeah.
Not
I
good.
thought the first two were honestly decent, but then it just totally went downhill.
I mean,
Like, they were
I haven't
just-
seen the second, but the first is good, and I'd like to watch the rest of them, I think, because
Yeah.
they are just sort of goofy, over-the-top action bullshit.
Absolutely, yeah.
I just sent you, like, the trailer. It's like that first shot.
What the...
Like, take a good look at that.
Oh, I can see what they were trying to do, and it sounds cool, looks kind of cool if the CGI was better.
Yeah.
This-
It just
but
looks
it's
really
not.
rough. But
wow.
I haven't, like, I don't usually watch trailers, as I've said many times. But yeah, I didn't watch the Guardians one. I don't want to. But the thing is, they're going to release, like, another trailer, and then there's going to be more stills and more people posting nonstop about it. And I'm like, I don't want to see this. Like, Guardians is one of the, like, best things about like Marvel. I just want to see it without the fucking trailer and all that, you know?
Yeah, me too. Like, the trailer, I mean, the point of a trailer is to, like, entice you to go see the movie, but if we already want to see the movie, there's no point watching the trailer because we're just going to get spoiled, so...
My only problem is that Marvel goes too far with their trailers.
Yeah, it shows too much. I mean, that goes for any trailer, honestly, these days. They just show too much, but that's why I'm kind of stopping. I am looking forward to all of them except Transformers. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But that was just my first little topic.
I've only got like one other, really. I mean, we always talk way too much about Marvel, but yeah, it's another Marvel thing. Yeah, to like give the gist of it, like there was a headline saying that Marvel Studios is reportedly re-evaluating its upcoming Phase 5 and 6 slate after heavy internal criticism about Phase 4's direction and will shift focus from quantity to quality.
Nice.
So I'm hoping that's true.
That earlier. I really hope that's true too. I'm surprised that they're listening to people.
I think that's the thing you get from it though. It's like internal criticism. So I'm imagining they're getting a lot of it from, you know, people in the actual office or whatever, you know? Probably all the visual effects artists are fucking rioting right now. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they talked about, in the actual article, they talked about how they're aware of the lackluster visual effects.
Yeah, just looking at clips of She-Hulk alone, I was just like, this is bottom of the barrel. This is terrible. So I'm happy to hear that. I hope that they start getting better. And yes, quality over quantity, because that's been the issue ever since Endgame ended. It's just nonstop shit. So.
I mean, there's definitely been great moments, absolutely, but... You know, you can't really look at every single one of these movies and say that there wasn't like a bad bit of visual effects or whatever. And you could say that for like before Endgame as well, I would say. But it's become a lot more prominent lately, I think.
I agree. That makes me hopeful at least, because that's what we were talking about in the last episode when we were talking about Wakanda Forever, like just how they need to slow down. Even if they don't slow down, as long as they're focusing more on like improving, you know, their stories and CGI and all that, because that's what's been really burning me out. It's just like, this is just, it's not as good as they used to be. So
they can take breaks. They just need to realize that. And they can work on shit.
I don't know why they're rushing so bad. I don't know why
there's no rush.
It's like this is gonna be going on for probably decades more. Like I don't see an end to any of this unless Kevin Feige got like diagnosed with some terminal illness and he's trying to like finish.
Why are
his
you
vision
looking at
before
the
he
camera
dies.
menacingly while saying that? You're like, please get a terminal illness or something. Oh my god.
That's just my face. I don't know, but I wasn't like trying to summon an illness on Kevin Feige, but. No, I mean,
doing like a hex.
That's the only reason I could see them rushing, but I doubt that happened. So
I don't see like Kevin Feige as like a big evil or anything like that. He's just he's in a rush all the time for some reason. I don't get it.
Oh, I think he's a fucking amazing like planner and coordinator of all this stuff. Like he's doing great for Marvel. I just think he needs to let his directors have a bit more control and then just focus more on quality. Like that's the only thing I wish they would do.
Well, I mean, the next two that we're getting, I'm very much looking forward to. So, I mean, we'll see.
What are the next two again?
It'll be Quantum Mania and then Guardians 3.
Oh hell yeah! Both of those I feel like are gonna be good. The only one that I am actually hyped for is Blade, honestly. But now I'm just more and more. I'm more and more skeptical after all the behind the scenes shit that is not going right apparently.
With Blade specifically, or just
it was like something like they lost a director and like they just like the production has been really rough for some reason. Like they had to rehire people and I was like, this isn't like a good sign.
I mean, it is a sign though, and maybe like that's one of the things that, you know, brought this on. Like, you know, just slow the fuck down, calm down.
That's
Stop
true.
being in a rush. There's no reason.
That's true. That is. I'm hyped for, you know, quite a bit of stuff coming out for Marvel. So I am, even though I always sound burnt out about it, but hope it gets better. My next little topic, because that one time I mentioned how Takeoff, you know, passed away, got killed.
Yeah.
It looks like they have arrested the people involved in the killing. So yes, that is a good thing. I just wanted to update people. That makes me feel a bit better. Like Yeah, so Takeoff was an innocent bystander when he was shot and killed on November 1st, and then it says they arrested 2 people in connection with the slaying of him. So it's still sad that he's gone, but at least justice will freaking be served, because still can't believe it.
That's good. That's
so
good.
yeah, just a quick little update. Yeah.
It doesn't change, how horrible
right,
it is, I guess, but it's just like, yeah,
no.
that is good that's, some
Right.
justice was brought.
Exactly. Man, a lot of my next topics are kind of like doom and gloom, but it's crazy shit that needs to be said. So this one doesn't affect me or affect any of us, but I just thought it was kind of a crazy headline. So it looks like San Francisco votes to allow police the use of deadly robots. So they've got robot police that they
this must
are
be
allowing
Onion.
to use.
Did you get this on the Onion?
No, I swear to God, this is NBC. This is NBC News. Like, this is real.
Police robots.
Yeah, you can look up, if you look up San Francisco police robot, whatever. Like, I didn't even know they had police robots, but now apparently they can use deadly force. So whatever. I don't live in San Francisco.
It's the end. The end is coming.
So robots are slowly. Yeah,
I'm gonna build my
I'm
bunker
gonna take
soon.
over the world.
Be like John Goodman.
But I'm looking at this picture. They have a picture, and it's like it looks like one of those like Mars rover things. Like, it's not even like an actual walking police robot. It's just like a stupid little thing on wheels. So I don't know how it's gonna hurt people with a gun on it.
It's just an RC car with a fucking gun on it and a taser. That'd be so cool.
That's probably what it is. But anyway, that was just a crazy little headline I had to mention. But like I said, I'm going crazier and crazier with these topics, and this is the last one I have. I don't know how, this is pretty recent. So a black hole ripped apart a star from that, like, far away, obviously. But why this affects us is because a mysterious blast of light flashed at Earth, and a black hole is pointing directly at us, it says. Don't know how that's good. Yeah. So I can read like a little.
The end is coming.
More.
First
literally
RC
one thing
cars
after
with
another.
fucking guns on them, and now this. Jesus.
Seriously, I know, it's pretty crazy. And like, oh my God, there was another thing. Okay, I do have one more topic.
Do you just
that is
look up
actually
like
crazier.
the end sort of type
Yeah.
of topics,
The
like the
end.
world is ending? Jesus.
Oh no, I don't look up that. I literally just go on Instagram.
This all started with the alien shit that you talked about, and now there's this.
The alien. Oh yeah, it did start with UFOs. I don't even go out of my way to find world-ending stuff. I go on Instagram. I follow this big account that posts these news stories, and then I always look up myself to make sure it's actually true. They always post crazy stuff. Really quick, I guess I'll just read this. It was an event not seen in more than a decade. A sudden flash of energy launched out of the center of a distant galaxy, bright enough to be visible from 8.5 billion light years away, with a burst of light equivalent to more than 1,000 trillion suns. A black hole's pointing at us, basically. So I don't know what that means.
That's
for us.
rough.
It is rough, but I mean, I don't know. Do black holes, like, do they move throughout the galaxy, or do they just kind of stay still? I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't work at NASA. I have no idea.
I don't know either, but I just find I find some of this stuff interesting, I guess.
It is interesting.
But
it's just it's all
just
doom
not
and gloom, and I don't know what to
It
do
is.
about any of it.
If you try to look at it as a good thing, then try and say like, oh well, it just reminds us of how small we are in the universe and how our problems aren't as big as they really seem, and you should appreciate the time you still have with the people around you and all that. That's, if you could take anything good away from
That's
that.
why I drink every day. I don't. That was a joke.
Okay, I have to quick type in, because I just remembered. I thought I saved this topic on my phone, but it came to me, but it has to be said. So hang on.
If a black hole tries to eat us up, we can cancel it on Twitter. It's fine.
Okay, so a zombie virus has resurfaced in Siberia after 50,000 years. So it says scientists. Yeah, exactly. Here's a few headlines. Scientists have found new zombie viruses. Should we be worried? Well, no shit. Zombie viruses are thawing from melting permafrost in Russia. What is the zombie virus found in Russia, and should we be worried? Why do all these headlines they're like big news sources like Washington Post, The National, and they're all saying like, should we be worried? Well, fuck yeah, right? So basically, scientists uncovered this like 50K-year-old zombie virus.
No, but how is it a zombie virus?
Exactly, I don't know.
Zombies
I
aren't
could
real.
probably read. I'm just reading. I'm one of those people that just reads the headlines and then it's like, yeah, I should probably.
But you also preach do your research, basically.
No, I am doing my research in terms of like
the stuff that matters.
Okay, the stuff that matters, and like big news sources are saying this stuff, but like half of these articles I have to like subscribe to even read the full thing. It's so stupid. Like, news should be free.
I mean, with that stuff, I don't believe there's a zombie virus. I just don't believe that's real.
You can, I mean, people out there and you can look it up yourself, but there is a lot of headlines from like a few days ago saying this, like, but in 2014,
what
same
makes
researchers,
it a zombie virus?
I'm skimming this article right now. Okay, it says the virus was still able to infect organisms. Seeing if they say anything about that. And they're saying it's due to climate change, you know, of course, like climate warming. It's thawing this like virus out. I don't know what makes it a zombie virus. Man, I don't know. It's a long article. I'll update you guys on the next episode after I do my research. After, like, because I'll be reading forever here.
That's replace just the Kanye corner with the zombie corner.
Or we should have like Quinn's doom and gloom corner. Like, what crazy world-ending shit?
Okay, what corner do I get then? The I'm depressed.
You probably do get the
I'm joking.
You probably do get the Kanye corner because that's.
I don't want it. I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Or both of our corners are pretty depressing, honestly, now. But
oh no, I know, but I actually don't want to talk about Kanye anymore. I just don't. I'm over it.
You never know though. It's always something new. To where next week he could do something good. You know, you never know. Be hopeful. You gotta be hopeful. Anyway, so yeah, we got police robots, black holes, and zombie viruses. Just thought I'd update you guys on
all the good shit.
All the good shit.
What a wild string of topics right there.
It's a wild string of topics. You see why I started with Indiana Jones?
Yeah, that's damn. I forgot that was even a topic now because I've just been focusing on this.
I should find like good news, like to balance out the bad news next time.
I think mine was good news.
Oh yeah, yours was good. The Marvel thing. Yeah. Well, now I guess I can tell people this thought I had for what we could try this episode. Similar to how we do like every few episodes, me and Liam will catch up on everything that we've been watching. I figured, you know, this is a podcast about, you know, all art in general, so why not have an episode about covering everything we've been listening to? Because I've been listening to like a lot of music lately, surprisingly.
I was wondering about like how much you wanted to do with that, because like do you want to go back to like the last 30 we listened to or something like that, just like go through one by one, because we don't usually have like too much to say, I imagine, especially if the other person hasn't heard it.
Exactly. It's really hard for me to put into words like what I like about music rather than movies, so I imagine it won't take me too long. Yeah, let's just do 30. Mine might be a little over 30 because I'm just gonna start from the 1st November. It's like 34 or 35, but a lot of them I'm actually gonna like lump together because they're from the same artist, and so
it was your idea, so you start.
All right, the first album I listened to in November. Look, I don't listen to as many 2022 releases as you. Like, I kind of go back to older stuff or like albums I haven't heard from the past and listen to that.
I do that plenty. Like,
you do that too?
There is not that much 2022 stuff I've heard. Maybe like 35 or something.
But I mean, my point is like you have enough stuff to listen to where you actually make lists at the end of the year, like top 10 2022 albums or something like that, right?
End of the year is very generous.
And yeah.
Sorry.
But basically, I'm trying to get better at listening to more 2022 releases to actually make a list at the end of the year. Like, yeah, these are my top 10 albums, but I don't even know if I've listened to 2022 albums. But honestly, for the ones I have listened to,
I'm sorry, but like don't like limit yourself to just posting right at the end of the year. Like, you don't have to do that.
No, I know. From the ones I have listened to, and look, I'm a Drake fanboy. I love his music. This is my favorite 2022 album, and it's his collaborative album with 21 Savage. It's called Her Loss. It's just like, it was the first thing I listened to in November, and I've been listening to it even up until this day, just like shuffling the album. I don't know how to describe it. It's just very catchy, very like, it's a vibe. It's got like slower tracks that get you in your feels, but it's also got like hype rap bangers. Like it's a good balance. I'm not like a huge 21 Savage fan, but he pairs really well with Drake, and it just like some of the songs have really like spooky sounding vibes, and that's fucking awesome. Like it's just a fun album, fun rap album. So yeah, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5, but I was really trying to like not be too generous and like give it a 5 just cause. I mean, because I don't want to give those away willy-nilly, but yeah. Anyway, that was the first album I listened to this last month.
The first one is Room for Improvement by Drake, and I didn't like it at all. Yeah, it's just not good.
Now, what do you put into words? I guess what about it was so bad? Because before you go on, I don't know if I've actually listened to all of that. As a big Drake fan, even I haven't listened to all that because, like I said, I kind of avoid his old stuff because I know it's not good, and I just want to have this perfect image of him in my head. But yeah.
Like the lyrics are terrible. It's just like really Christian type rap, and it's basically like the whole thing where he's just and you've said that this like continues throughout his discography, but it's like he's just telling women what to do or how to live their life. And it's really annoying. Like especially in this. But I gave it a 1 star, and I really, really didn't like it. But it is the perfect name for his debut. There is room for improvement. Holy shit.
That is it is a good name for a debut. I am happy to say it only goes up from there, you know, because a lot of artists for me, they actually go downhill. I think they're early, like for everyone I listen to, they always tend to go downhill, but Drake goes uphill for me. It does improve, like even if his lyrics stay the same, they're all like the really weird kind of like trying to persuade women to like be this way or be that way. Like I know what's best for you, that type of shit. Like even if and then that's just, I don't know why he has to rap like that, but I mean with him I can appreciate more of like the production, the instrumentals, the flow, like everything outside of the lyrics I can still love.
I can imagine that like once I get into more of his later stuff, the production is something that'll like improve quite a bit, but this was bad production. Like this first one just was not good, so yeah, it didn't even have that
fair.
For me.
And that's fair. Like I'm not even mad at all. Even if you gave it a 0.5 star, I wouldn't care because I know that old stuff is rough. It's just rough. Anyway, next one I had, which I think every album I have to talk about, I have like no re-listens, so these are all like new listens.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I randomly decided to start Ariana Grande's discography because I just I want to be in the loop on big artists and like, okay, what's everyone listening to? Like, is this good? I was going in kind of skeptical because all I've heard from Ariana Grande was like the same annoying singles that always get played on the radio, the most pop mainstream stuff. But I was surprised at how much I liked her first album, Yours Truly. Like it's some good shit. Songs I've never heard on the radio before.
I haven't heard her first in quite a while, but I don't remember liking it too much. I thought it was just passable for me, but yeah, it's definitely not bad.
And that's fair because I mean it sounds, you know, like a product of its time. It's got like a lot of cheesy features. Like it sounds like a kind of mainstream pop album, but like the opening track, Honeymoon Avenue, easily my favorite song by her in general. I just think there's just a quality to the sound that is like so like warm and just like charming, comforting, and like I like that. So it felt like uplifting music, and I needed some uplifting music, so I gave it a 4 out of 5. I was surprised.
Yeah, she's in Fortnite, so you can buy her skin. Anyway.
Of course she is. Who wouldn't be? Who's not in Fortnite?
After that, I listened to Golden Feelings by Beck. It's his debut, because I want to get into Beck.
Let me guess. Sorry, before you on. Is Julia getting you into Beck? Because that's like her favorite artist, I think.
Well, I've always wanted to, because I know that Keelan's liked him for quite a bit as well, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Yeah. I am finding it really difficult to actually find his second album, so I really want to continue, but it's hard to fucking find it, so we'll see. But Golden Feelings was like, it's like a pretty good debut, like actually. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and I just said on Music Board, like in the top like title thing, like it's really funny and I don't know why. It's just It's like him singing
Yeah.
in this really goofy way. It's very lo-fi, and he just like makes like some of the lyrics are just so wacky, but it works really well. I don't know. I really liked it. It's not perfect, but it's just really funny and goofy, and I like it.
Oh, okay. I had to look up the album. I thought this was one. I had a different album in mind because you're right. I think Spotify doesn't have certain albums for some reason, and I don't know if
Yeah,
I could
I had to
find that on
download that
there.
one.
So yeah, I
And
had
the
a different
second is
Beck
like
album in
even
mind.
harder to find. So
That's frustrating, but
It
yeah, I'll
is.
have to check that out because I do like quite a bit of Beck, but he has so much stuff that like I still haven't finished it yet. Yeah, I can't wait till you get to God. What's his other album? I'm sure you've heard the song "Loser" by Beck, but if you haven't, I can't wait till you listen to that.
I don't think
It's
I've
a
heard.
popular, very.
I don't think I've heard any Beck outside of that first
Oh.
album and outside of the stuff that's in Scott Pilgrim, because that's where I
Oh.
first heard him.
Because
Like-
I mean, his most popular song is "Loser." I think that is, and it's a great fucking song. It's so good. It's
I
hilarious.
believe you. Yeah. The only one I've played on repeat is Ramona because I just love that song from Scott Pilgrim. It's great.
My next album, as I said, I was going through Ariana Grande, so I listened to her second album, My Everything. It was a step down in quality. I thought it went way more mainstream than even the first album. Some of the singles were just kind of annoying. Like it just didn't have that nice quality to it like the first album had. But that's not to say it was bad because I still gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Still thought it was solid, but it's probably my least favorite album from her.
That's another one I don't remember too well. I think it's like the first three maybe like are just sort of a bit of a blur, but I remember liking some parts of them. So
Have you listened to all of her stuff or just
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Next one I listened to was Still Come the Night by Alison Sudol. Alison Sudol's like an actress. I'm pretty sure she's married to David Harbour actually. She's in Fantastic Beasts. That's what she's known for most. So yeah, but she's like been doing music for quite a while under like this other name called A Fine Frenzy, but this is her first one under like her own name, and it's really beautiful. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was just gorgeous. There's some really nice lyrics in there. The production is great. It's just really, really calming and nice. I really liked it. So.
Nice. I just saw David Harbour yesterday.
Yes, you did, yeah.
That was, which on a movie episode we'll talk about that, but what a fucking movie. Anyway,
I had no interest in that movie, but now I kind of have.
dude, if I could sum it up in a sentence, imagine you've seen Nobody, right? Nobody with Bob
Yeah.
Odenkirk. Okay, imagine Nobody but with Santa Claus. That's and I was
fuck
like,
yeah.
this is fucking great. Yeah, so
That sounds cool.
it is. Anyway, the next one I listened to was this is the debut album from not a very well-known rapper, but his name is Open Mike Eagle. Have you heard any of his stuff?
No, I think I've
Okay.
heard of him. Hasn't he featured on something that I would know?
Probably, but I wouldn't be surprised if you did hear of him because it was either this first album or his next one, but he's kind of along the same lines as Bus Driver, actually. Bus Driver came on a couple of his songs, and so like they're kind of in that same vein of rap. Bus Driver, Danny Brown, those kind of weird like, but he's definitely much more accessible than them. Like he doesn't do a weird voice. His lyrics are really great. Like he's just a really smart rapper. His instrumentals are cool.
That's where I know him from. He's on a Bus Driver song. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I guess
yeah.
they collab. Yeah.
Right, and so that's why I think you should check him out. Even though this first album wasn't anything special, I gave it a 3 out of 5. It's pretty rough, but like it's like setting the groundwork for like who he is, like what his sound is like, and so it only gets better from there because I listened to a couple more of his. But it's called Unapologetic Art Rap. I don't know if I said the album name yet, but it's pretty solid, underrated rapper, honestly, that people should check out.
I'd like to check him out. I'm always looking for unique rap.
You'd probably like it then. Yeah.
Next one was Arrangements by Preoccupations. They're like a band that I've never been super into, but I've heard all of their stuff. There's only like a couple of songs that I've like saved in my playlist and shit, but yeah, this one wasn't really a change from that. I gave it a 5 out of 10. It's just okay. It's just passable, sort of dark rock, but it's not really that interesting or anything. But yeah, it's not bad. It's just yeah. Not for me.
Speaking of Beck, I also listened to some Beck this month. So I've heard like a few of his first albums, or at least the ones that are on Spotify. It's so weird how Spotify orders his albums, by the way, because I don't even know if they put them in the right order. So like,
I just always Wikipedia them to make sure.
Yeah, you know? I should do that because I don't know if I'm going in order here, but oh well. I listened to his album, how do you pronounce this? Guero? It's Guero, Goro, I don't know. But it was a typical Beck album, but it's still great. Like, I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's got all the Beck stuff, you know, you like. It's catchy, it's unique, it's got like a distinct sound. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it because it is kind of like his other stuff, but it's still very good. So, yet another good Beck album.
I listened to Decide by Joe. That's Joe Keery, like his music. Yeah. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I loved it so much. Damn. And like his last album was like good too, like his debut, but it like suffered a bit because it was just a bit long. But this one's like 4 minutes or something like that, and it's just like it keeps you interested the whole way through. There's one song in there that I have not stopped playing, and it's so fucking good. So good. I loved it. And it's probably my favorite album cover of the year. Fantastic album cover. Just love it.
Nice. I still need to check out like his music because it
only
sounds
2 albums.
good.
You'd probably like him. Yeah.
I probably would, honestly. I don't know how I haven't yet, but
it's surprising how good he is for like someone sort of young and like just starting out like that. It's like he's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because I had no idea that he did music, so I'm definitely interested now. I think this is the only other Beck album I have recently that I've listened to. It's called Sea Change. I think this was like in 2002, so yet again, don't know if this is in order or not, but definitely a switch up in his sound, I feel like. I don't know how to describe the switch up. You just would have to listen to it, but yet again, I don't know what else to say. Anything I could say about Beck just applies to all of his albums. It's catchy, it's unique, impactful sounding music and lyrics and all that. I really like the song Paper Tiger, probably one of my favorite Beck songs now. So yeah, another 4 out of 5, really good.
Surfin' USA by the Beach Boys. I think it's their second album. Yeah, whatever. Like,
are you a big Beach Boys fan at all?
That's their second one, and it's like the exact same way I feel about their first. It's just like generic surf rock, boring. That's it. But I do expect that. I expect it gets better as it goes on because I've seen Love and Mercy and I love that movie so much. And I know that it gets better and more emotional and stuff like that. So I want to listen to them for that. But yeah, these first two, just whatever. 4 out of 10.
I've never listened through a full Beach Boys album, but they were a huge group for me growing up, like listening to, like it was always playing in our house, you know, the Beach Boys. So like I definitely heard a lot of their music growing up and I do love a lot of their popular songs, but yeah, I've never thought about listening through a full album of them.
I do think that one of the best like popular songs out there is God Only Knows. I love that song. Like,
that was off of Boogie Nights, wasn't it? It was off of Boogie Nights.
I don't even
it is.
I honestly, this sounds like dumb, but like I always remember it from Love Actually.
It was in Love Actually as well. Yeah, and actually it plays at the end of Boogie Nights as well during the whole montage showing like where all the characters end up. Well, the next album I listened to was, it's not even an album, it's an EP. Yet again, trying to get through some of these popular artists just to get in on the loop, but I wanted to listen to Billie Eilish's music just to listen to it. No, I've heard popular songs on the radio, just like Ariana Grande's, but never a full project. So I listened to her first project, which is her EP, Don't Smile at Me. I actually liked it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Like, I was surprised at how much I liked it.
I've actually not heard her first EP. I only heard the albums, so...
I feel like it's split. It definitely split people as I'm looking at like ratings and stuff, but I don't know if I have many significant tracks that stand out. She did a song with Vince Staples, who's a rapper that I like. That was good, I guess. Overall, it was just very steady good. Okay. But I'm just not a fan of her slow ballads, singing.
Me neither. I think that's the worst of Billie Eilish. Because it's like, I hate the way she sings slowly, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's so boring.
It is, and it's just like
it's
trying
gimmicky.
To be moody.
Yeah, it's trying to be moody and shit.
And there's an audience for that. I totally get it. Like, oh, young, angsty, teenage, sad girl, in her room. But I mean, like, that's not me. That's not me. So I just, every time that song comes on, I'll just fuck it. Like, I don't like it. But anyway, it's still 4 out of 5.
Nice. I listened to Never Never Land by Uncle, his second album. Wait, is it his or is it a group? I can't remember. But I think I like it just as much as the first album because I listened to that sort of recently too. But like, yeah, I feel like this dude's like becoming a favorite very quickly. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe some of this shit, but like, yeah, it's very experimental, like electronic stuff in there, but it's got like elements of rock, elements of like I don't even know how to describe it. There's like funk and shit. There's a lot of sample usage. I'm pretty sure one of the like samples that they use on like one of the first songs on this album is from The Thin Red Line. Yeah.
Oh.
But they're just really, really good at what they do. I have like I honestly think that if I were to pick like a place or whatever that makes the best music, I think it is England. There are so many artists from like England where they are just so creative, and this is absolutely one of them. So I just love this so much. Nice. If you want to listen to that song with that sample, or like want a recommendation, that I'd recommend the song Eye for an Eye, or the song Rain, or In a State. They're all amazing. So yeah, nice. I love that so much. I gave it a 9 out of 10, by the way.
Oh, nice. Damn.
Yeah.
I will have to check a lot of these out because I don't know if I've heard most of these. Next one I listened to, Billie Eilish's first debut album, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Is that what it's called? Yeah. Where do we go? Yeah, it was kind of a slight step down from her EP, believe it or not. It was still a solid album. I just thought this had more of what I didn't like about Billie Eilish. Like I said, it was more depressed, more monotone, more like slow and sappy and quiet, and like I'm just not a fan of that. Her first EP was honestly more upbeat, and a lot of its like sound. So I like more upbeat music.
There's only like one song I come back to on that first album, and it's
Which one?
What the fuck's it called? All the Good Girls Go to Hell.
Oh, I was just looking at that one. Yeah, that was a good one. I thought that was good. I thought
I hate Zanny.
Zanny I'd have to probably re-listen to as soon as I heard the opening.
I think it's just another one of those ones where she sings really slowly and monotone and boring, and it's like
I thought that, All the Good Girls Go to Hell is a standout. Bad Guy is good, even though I think it's overplayed on the radio.
It is good, but yeah, it's way overplayed.
Yeah. You Should See Me in a Crown was pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, overall, just a solid album. 3.5 out of 5 is what I gave it. So
yeah,
I thought I would dislike it a lot more, but no, it was pretty good still.
I think that's a fair rating, yeah. I listened to... We got the first Kavinsky album in 12 years.
Damn.
He's the guy who did like Night Call from Drive, like
hell yeah.
He made a bunch of stuff back then. Well, no, he made like one album back then, and that's the only thing he made, and then he was gone for 12 years, and then he came back with this album in 2022, and it's called Reborn. Yeah. It's I wrote at the title, I need to sit with it for a bit because I'm not like quite sure how I feel about it right now. Yeah. Some of it is just like it relies a bit too heavy on features, I think. I didn't like that too much, and some of the like soundscapes just sound very similar from song to song, so I didn't really like how it just didn't have too much differentiation. But his whole vibe is basically just like, that sort of night drivey, moody, neon lights kind of shit. It's like
I would
that
love
kind
that.
of stuff. I mean, it's good, but I think it's a lot better than his first album, honestly. But I might like this a bit more if I listen again. But yeah, it's not bad. I give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's good.
I will definitely check it out because I do like that type of night driving music.
Check out his first. His first is really good.
Oh, I will.
And it's got Nightcall on it anyway. I think it opens with Nightcall. It's so good.
Nice. Oh, yeah. I can't wait. Next one I listened to was the second album from Open Mike Eagle.
Yeah.
It's got a weird name. It's like 4NML space. And then it looks like hospital, but it's HSPTL. So like just weird numbers and abbreviations. But yeah, it's a solid... It was a bit of a step up from his first album, thankfully. Because it still has a lot of the stuff I didn't like about the first album. Just like how rough the production can be. How like kind of annoying some hooks can be. But it was definitely an improvement in sound. He like the lyrics are still just as creative and wacky but smart and just like unique.
Yeah.
And so overall it was a good album. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. He is an artist that just does get better and better though, like I said. So don't know if I have stand-up
I'll have
track,
to check
honestly,
him out. I'd like to
yeah.
check him out.
I think you should. I mean, you'll probably feel the same way maybe about his first couple albums, but I know the ones that I like you'll probably like a lot too. I could tell.
Next one I listened to was The Dream by Alt J. Alt J haven't had an album since like 2018 or something, and they sort of felt like they were going downhill back then, and this is probably their worst so far, which is unfortunate because I used to really like them. I gave it a 5 out of 10. I thought there were some good songs and good moments, but it's just like some moments of experimentation work really well, but some others really don't, and it just feels like the vocals are really phoned in. I don't know. It's not the greatest, but it's okay. Can I just go to the bathroom?
Oh yeah, sure. Good job, Liam, on the editing. All the editing you've been doing. Keep it up, buddy. Seriously. Thank you. I really mean it. There you go. He'll listen to that when he edits the episode. Forgot where we're at. Is it my turn or yours?
It's yours.
Okay. Well, this album is one of the best ones that I listened to out of this whole bunch I'm talking about. It's the third album from Open Mike Eagle. It's called Dark Comedy. This I really feel like is going to be like peak Open Mike Eagle, and I haven't finished his albums yet, but I just have that feeling because it's just got the production is 10 times better than his first two albums. It's so much cleaner. It's so much more like catchy. Like it's just so much more pleasing to listen to. It's not as rough. The lyrics are hilarious. He even gets like, I don't know if you've heard of the comedian Hannibal Buress, you know, the black guy with glasses. Yeah, he even comes on a track and like raps with him, and it's pretty funny. And so like it just has this, and the album's called Dark Comedy, so like it has like a theme to it, I guess. And so it's just really great. I gave it 4.5 out of 5.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's very good. I feel like you'll like it. It just seems maybe up your alley, like if you like Bus Driver and all them. So like definitely eventually listen to it. And my favorite track would probably be the opening track, Dark Comedy Morning Show. I love that track. So
my next one was Hold the Girl by Rina Sawayama. The title that I put for it was Yawn, all caps. So it was a 1 star for me, 2 out of 10.
Damn.
Which is really disappointing as well, because her first, like her debut album was really good and experimental and awesome, but this was just, oh my god, I don't know what happened. It is like just, it's like non-stop just like show tunes, like belting out shit, and like the lyrics are so generic. Everything about it is generic. Like it's like they put her into a machine and like out came the fucking most generic possible thing that you could get. It's it is the most basic shit I've ever heard. It's so bad. So bad. And so many people like it too. It's like, oh my god.
Damn.
I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very good. So I actually forgot. I did have one re-listen on this whole string of albums. This one, for some reason, I was just, maybe it's because I finished Atlanta, and you'll see why, because this is it's an album by Childish Gambino, you know, Donald Glover.
Yeah.
And it's his most different album, which was Awaken My Love. Man, I fucking love that album. I love that album. Do you?
No.
You don't?
I don't. I've heard all of his stuff, and I don't love anything by him, honestly. But that album, like, I just couldn't get into it while listening to it, but it's very much due a re-listen, so I might like it if I re-listen to it.
And that was the case for me, because I only liked 1 or 2 tracks off of it, and the rest I was like, on. But like this, for some reason, something compelled me to re-listen to it. I listened to it, and I was just in like that mood of like soul, jazz, funk, whatever you want to call it. Like it's really fucking good. I don't know why. I liked it a lot. So yeah, a few tracks. Obviously Redbone, Me and Your Mama, great song. The Night Me and Your Mama Met, another great song. Have Some Love. It's really uplifting. I just liked it. It was uplifting music. Like Have Some Love is just a really positive song, and I needed that. So I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. It's really close to being a perfect album, but the only song that's kind of annoying is California. I think that shit is annoying. Like, I don't know if you remember that song, but
No, I don't.
it's, yeah. She wanted to go to California. It goes like that. But anyway.
The next one I did was Green Zone 108 by Green Tea Peng. This is her second album. Her debut was like last year. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I love this woman so much. I think she's so talented. That score just like feels low now because I've listened to it since, and like it's so fucking good, man. So good. I just love it. She's like, you know, soulful, like experimental rap and stuff, and like she's really good. I think you'd like her quite a bit, but her first album was like quite long, and that's why I didn't like love it as much. There were a few moments where I was like, that could have been taken out. But Green Zone 108 is like 30 something minutes or whatever, and it's really, really good. So
Green Zone 108. Okay, I just wrote it down.
Listen to it first if you want as well. It's called Man Made.
Oh yeah, I'll listen to her in order. Yeah.
She's really, really good.
Yeah, sounds like something I'd like for sure.
She's got some really, really deep lyrics on there too, and it's like accompanied by like really just enjoyable, like sort of head sway music. You know, like you're just like, this is nice, and I'm feeling things at the same time. There's one good line on there where she's like, "No one can judge me harder than I judge myself."
Oh,
like,
that
man.
is. I felt that. Yeah, I feel that. Next one I listened to, because this was on the list of Open Mike Eagle, but I didn't realize it was a collaborative album. I don't know who this rapper really is. His name's Kavanaugh. Well, he and some other artists, mainly Open Mike Eagle, did like a bunch of rap songs here, and well, it's only like 9 tracks, but it's called Time and Materials, and it was a great album. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's just like everything I like about Open Mike Eagle, but like with cool production, cool hooks, like different voices on the album. It's just a great rap album. Time and Materials. I wish I could. I'm looking through the tracks. I don't know which one stood out to me. Like maybe Screenplay. It's steady. It was like a lot of these albums are like, it stays consistent throughout to where I don't know if I could pick a favorite, but yeah.
Next one I listened to was Flood by Stella Donnelly. Stella Donnelly had my least favorite album of 2019, number 1. Hated it so much. I gave this an 8 out of 10. I don't know what happened. This is her second album after this, but like she toned down the like really over the top political lyrics and shit. She made it sound so much better, and I was just like genuinely really surprised. I was like, "What? Holy shit! This is great!" So I love that.
Nice.
I would recommend the songs Medals, Move Me, and Cold. They're all really good.
Nice. Yeah, it's always nice when a artist proves you wrong.
I will not like her first album anymore because of this, but it's like still it's great. It's great that she can grow and develop.
Right. I mean, that's the same case with like Spelling, for example. Like you hated her first album and then fucking came back. Yeah.
I love when artists do that. It's awesome. Actually, Stella Donnelly is like partly Wales, like Welsh, I mean, but she's also raised here, like where I live in Perth.
Oh.
So, but I didn't even know that when I started listening to her, and I'm like, oh, she's from Perth. Oh, I couldn't be more disappointed.
Well, I mean, that should be cool now that you're enjoying her music, and nice. Next album I listened to, which is I know one that you listened to because I saw it on your story today, but and we were both fucking highly anticipated, I'm sure. One of the 2 new Brockhampton albums released. The Family, which was the only, I thought, was going to be their only one, their last one.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I haven't listened to the other one yet.
Oh, yeah, that was a nice surprise. Like 2 Brockhampton albums a day after another. I was like, this is fucking awesome. But yeah, it was a very solid album. I wouldn't put it anywhere near like the Saturation albums. Like that's peak Brockhampton for me. Saturation and then Iridescence, and then it kind of just dwindles off, honestly, for me. The Family was a totally solid, good Brockhampton album. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It's nothing amazing. I thought it was unique and crazy at times, but also like, heartfelt. They balance all that stuff really well. Yeah. So I think I listened to it twice actually, because I really wanted to like really know how I felt about it, and it's a 3 out of 5. But
I do think I need another listen, because I really don't know how to feel right now, but I'll get to that later, actually.
Yeah.
Next one I listened to was... Fuck, I need the... I pulled it up, but, like, it's a long title. Ice, Death, Planets, Lungs, Mushroom, and Lava by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I love King Giz. I've been to their concert, like, 3 times. They are fucking awesome. I gave this a 4 out of 10.
Oh, damn.
Like, I said in the title, they're falling off. Because it's just,
no.
It feels like there's such little amount of, like, creativity now, and it's more, like, recycled sounds over and over again.
It's more of like a gimmick at this point, their whole thing.
No, I mean, what I did like is that, like, right before this, it felt like every new album was at least a new creative style, and they went for something a bit different. But with this one, it's like a mix of all of that, and it's just like a mess. It's really upsetting because they haven't had a, like, great album since LW back in, like, really early 2020. So I'm a bit upset, but yeah.
That's too bad. I haven't even, like, touched any of their discography yet. I think I'm just kind of overwhelmed. Yeah, I was overwhelmed when I was looking at it, and I'm like, any discography that's that big, it seems like such an investment in project, and, like, I'm not, like, ready for something like that right now, but eventually.
I think it's worth it in the long run, honestly, because they have way more good than bad.
Well, that's good.
Seriously. Their first couple of albums are a bit rough, and then, like, that album wasn't the greatest or whatever, and there's a few hints here and there where you're like, that's not great, but in general, they are fucking great.
Well, that's good to hear. Next one I listened to was, like I said, they released the albums one day after another, so I did listen to TM, which was, I guess, officially the last Brockhampton album, huh? Like, yeah. I think it is. So, this one I did like more than The Family. Like, I think this one, I don't know how you'll feel. Maybe you might like it more or less. I mean, I could see how both albums have really different sounds. Yeah. In TM has more, honestly, of, like, it's more clean, polished up, and kind of, like, I don't want to say mainstream, but it is more accessible rap than
I've heard they sound quite different.
Yeah, it is different, but it caters more to, like, the sound that I like when I look for rap, honestly, and just more, like, just easy listening music and more catchy music. And yeah, this has a lot more catchier songs, like Man on the Moon is a great song, Crucify Me is a great song, Duct Tape, like, honestly, a lot of them. New Shoes, I really liked a lot of the track list, and I gave it a 4 out of 5, and that could honestly even jump to a 4.5 if I really listened to it more and more, because it was really good. So great end. The last song, called Goodbye, almost got me emotional, because I'm like, damn, this is sad. Like, just the sound of it, and it's called Goodbye, and, like, we're never gonna get another Brockhampton album.
I look forward to listening to it, but I'll have to be in a certain mood, I think.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, everything up until Goodbye is upbeat and, like, not sad and depressing. So I mean, but you're right, like, you don't want it to end, so it kind of sucks.
It doesn't matter, like, how upbeat things are. Like, right before that, you can still have that moment where it's, like, reflecting on the album that you've just heard and all of the bangers and shit like that, and then the Goodbye song would be like, oh, well, I guess it's all over, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I haven't even heard it, but that's, yeah.
Well, overall, great album, 4 out of 5, so
I look forward to it. I listened to Someplace Simple by Martina Topley Bird. I put in the title, just kind of pointless. I gave it a 5 out of 10, but it's literally just, like, different stripped back versions, like more acoustic versions of, like, songs she's already done with her last 2 albums, and I was like, like, it's not really like the greatest or anything. It's not bad, it's just, like, a little cute thing, but it's not like I don't know how the 2 are, like, way better.
Oh god, this next album was weird, because I didn't know anything about this group. I just was randomly adding random artist discographies to a playlist to listen to. I listened to the first album from Animal Collective.
Oh, you did, didn't you?
Yeah. So you must have heard
I know
their
you
music.
liked it. I hate Animal Collective.
You hate them?
I hate them.
Man.
I actually have gotten to a point, like, they've released 2 albums since, like, the last time I listened to them and stuff, and I don't want to listen to them. I just don't. I could, but I don't, because I just think they're terrible. I can't stand them. But to each their own. A lot of people do like them.
I didn't love the album or anything, to be honest. I was pretty thrown off and I didn't know how to feel about it at first. I mean, my review on Letterboxd was like some pretty weird shit, or not Letterboxd, music board. My review on music board was, all I said was some pretty weird shit. I like it. Like, that's it. I don't know how else to. I was in the mood for something experimental, and that's what I got. Yeah. And like at times it went a bit too much with their sound, but it was just an interesting album.
My main feeling with them is just that they don't change.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just stay consistent throughout the whole thing, and sometimes that's good, but for them I was like, oh, I'm not feeling this.
I don't know if I like that then. But I didn't even say the name of the album. It's called Spirit They're Gone, Spirit They Vanished. And yeah, 3.5 out of 5. Solid debut from a weird ass sound that I wasn't ready for, but yeah.
You might like them more than I do, who knows? Like, don't let me stop you, but yeah. I listened to Horse Shit on Route 66 by The Garden.
What?
Oh, yeah, man. The Garden are like a fucking great group. They're so wacky, but I love all their music, and this is really no exception. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Loved it. They're just really like crazy out there shit. Like they do fucking these songs where it's like it ranges back and forth from like hard rock to like electronic experimental, drum and bass. Occasionally there's like these moments where it feels rappy. It's like such a weird bunch of shit, but it always seems to work somehow. And I really love this one. So it's not their best or anything, and I don't love it as much as their last two, but still really, really good. I would recommend the songs OC93 and Freight Yard. Those are really good.
Nice. All the next 5 albums I have are all by the same artist, because I think I had a day off work and I had a ton of errands to do and a ton of cleaning and shit, and I just started their discography and just happened to finish it in one day. Like, that's all I did. The first album, and the artist I'm talking about is Anderson .Paak. Yeah, and I listened to his first album, Venice. Loved it. I loved it. I loved the... At first, now, before I even like touched any of his albums, I was really thrown off by his voice. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this guy, because he has a really distinct, raspy voice. But no, I mean, checking out this first album, it was an amazing fusion of like soul, jazz, funk, rap, pop, like so many different sounds fused together. And I was like, it's just great music. So like, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. It really worked for me. Let's see, if I was to name like a track, they're all good. I don't know, they're all really good. So like, just check out the album.
I'll give it a go. The next album I listened to was Comeback Season by Drake.
Yeah, boy.
His second mixtape.
No. His second mixtape.
The title that I put was, I Wanted to Rip My Ears Off. I gave it a 1 out of 10. So it's worse than Room for Improvement, in my opinion.
His first album lied. Well, no, there is still room for improvement.
Oh, yeah, and I thought he might improve, but Jesus, it's so bad. I'm just going to read verbatim what I wrote on Music Board.
Yeah.
At least his first mixtape had occasional decent instrumental. This has nothing. I hated this so much. As I've said, I'm sure he gets better as you go, but oh boy, what a rough start. That's it.
Oh my god. Hang on. I'm just like...
I have no doubt it gets better.
I wanted to find, like, was there any just, like, so bad lyrics? I mean, that'd be hilarious.
Probably.
Like...
Also, their album cover is terrible.
I saw it. It's, like, him and, like...
I think it's actually, like, one of those, like, stock, like, you know, the old, like, Windows, like, screensavers? Like, it's that, but blurred in the background.
See it. I see, yeah. It's something like I would come up with, yeah.
You would do better than that. Come on.
No, I would probably. Let's see. I'm gonna pick a random track from this mixtape, "Bitch Is Crazy," and let me just skim the lyrics and just randomly yeah. Can y'all hear me out there? Is it a lovely night tonight? Ain't it? Yeah, I know. Oh, this probably is just some spoken word intro. Okay.
Yeah, I think it is.
I like to know if there's a chemical imbalance in your makeup. Yeah, gotta be something wrong with you, baby. Oh, see, right away, he says some shit like that.
Yeah, it's non-stop for that. And it's like over an hour.
Oh my god. Calling my ex-girl or emailing my mama. Damn, you're the only one that's causing me this drama.
Wait a minute. There was actually one song I like literally sent to Julia during listening to this, and I said to her, listen to this because you need to go through this pain with me.
As you look this up, I've got one more. Okay. I love how I just picked the most random track and just like it is all this. Cause to stay with this girl, oh, you couldn't pay me. I respect a woman, but this bitch is crazy. And then it just repeats, this bitch is crazy. Yeah, I haven't even heard the song. I respect a woman, but this bitch... Oh. And then the outro, she don't even know. That's the craziest part, right? She's just oblivious to this whole shit. Like, and you know, like, why does he keep saying like so much? God, Drake, my boy, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, this was the one, yeah. It was just like really cringy, like overly sexual lyrics, but also just like, I don't even know how to explain it. I can't let you go, I can't let you go. You were late to school. I'm gonna have to see you after class. You've been a bad girl. Someone's gonna have to teach you a lesson. You've been a bad girl. Someone's gonna have to straighten you right out. You've been a bad girl. And then the bridge. Someone's gonna have to teach you. Someone's gonna have to teach you.
No.
It is fucking dreadful, man. Oh,
that sounds terrible. Yeah, I mean,
Drake?
That sounds like, what are you doing, Drake? You're giving him a bad first impression. Like, oh man. But I just love this little outro on the song "Bitch is Crazy." I haven't listened to the song, so I don't know if he's rapping or just speaking this. I want to wear the wife beaters with the slit at the top so I can tear it easy and all that. I want to sing in the rain, girl. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, like that's literally reading the lyrics.
Literally what Drake, Julia just said in the track. Like it was that one where it sounds like a 13-year-old boy wrote the lyrics. Like, yeah.
That's true. I mean,
so bad.
There is some big controversy too that like later in Drake's career he hired like ghostwriters and people were always giving him shit about that, but like his lyrics got fucking way better. So maybe that is why he hired ghostwriters.
That is a blessing. Like if he can't write lyrics and he has to write shit about singing after class and all that shit, like he needs ghostwriters.
He does. And I don't think ghostwriters are even a big deal. Like as long as the lyrics are good, I don't care who they came from. Anyway, that's hilarious. I'm gonna have to listen through these old mixtapes to get the full picture of Drake in my head.
Don't do it.
No, but it's my boy. I got to.
You'll be embarrassed to be a Drake fan.
That's true. I will be. I'm already like kind of embarrassed, but whatever.
As I said, I know it gets better. Yeah. I do know that.
My next one, like I said, I mean it's gonna be a lot of Anderson .Paak. So I listened to his second album, Malibu. Also amazing. It's pretty much Venice, but like more focused. Because Venice, my only flaw with that album was that it was all over the place. Like some tracks were R&B, some were funk, some were soul, and some were straight up like trap. And I was like, Malibu really narrowed it down into a specific sound, but it still fused all of those genres. It was great. 4.5 out of 5. Heart Don't Stand a Chance is a great song. The Seasons Carry Me is another great song. Put Me Through, Am I Wrong? I could go on. Like it's a great album. So,
I can't wait to check him out. He sounds good.
He is good. I mean, it's just unique sound.
Next one was Laminated Dream by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I just said it was better than the last. It was an improvement, which is good. I gave it an extra like star, so it's a 6 out of 10 for me. Not better by too much or anything, but it is quite good. It's just like 2 songs, but they're like really long ones, and it's interesting. Like I think they're like 15 minutes each or something like that. So it's like a 30-minute album. But yeah, I did like it. It's not amazing, but I liked it.
Next one I listened to. So this was I feel like a collaborative album. It's between this, I don't know if it's a duo or just one guy. See, that's what confused me, but NX Worries and Anderson .Paak. Yeah. But I don't know if Anderson .Paak and this other guy are just called NX Worries together. Either way, whatever. It's another guy in Anderson .Paak, and it's called Yes Lord, like Lord, but Lord. You get it.
Yes Lord.
Yes Lord. And It was very not like, it wasn't to the level of his first 2 albums, but certainly like still a great album. I still gave it 4 out of 5. It still has all the best qualities. It's just I feel like he didn't switch anything up really, so it's still great.
Next one was Born Pink by Blackpink. It's the new Blackpink album. They're like a K-pop group. For some reason, I've heard all their stuff. I don't like them that much. Like, I like some K-pop every now and then, but this... I don't know what the big deal is about Blackpink. They're like the most popular K-pop group, and I just don't like them that much. I gave this a 4 out of 10. This was okay sometimes, but it's nothing special at all.
I've not gotten into K-pop at all, other than maybe some BTS here and there. I don't know.
I like some K-pop songs. There's some really good ones, but not all of them.
It's just a sound that I'm like I want to listen to, but I'm just not ready for, you know?
I just want the instrumental to be good. That's all I want, really.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's
honestly.
often not.
Next one I listened to was Oxnard. I don't know how you pronounce that, but Oxnard by Anderson .Paak came out in 2018. Yet again, everything I've said about him can apply to all of these albums, which maybe is a bad thing because, like I said, he hasn't been switching up his sound lately, but that's fine because, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, I mean, I still gave it a 4 out of 5. It's got everything I like about his sound, just nice, uplifting, funk, rap, whatever. And I think this one even has a track with this one has like a lot of cool features. It's got a track with Kendrick Lamar, which is a great song. Tints, yeah, that one's a great song. Yeah, that'd probably be my favorite song off the album. And yeah, like songs with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, like he's bringing in like a lot of old rap sounds, but still making it sound new and fresh. So nice. Great album, 4 out of 5.
My cousin was lucky enough recently, like just a couple of nights ago, he got surprised by his stepdad with tickets to Kendrick Lamar, so he went to see him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I was so fucking jealous because it looked awesome.
His concerts just look crazy. Like,
he literally had like this floating like cube that he was like lifted up in. It was like awesome.
Yeah. Well, I saw that, and then I saw a picture or like a video to where it must have been a hologram of him on stage, because all of a sudden he just like disappeared after he was like done rapping, and like everyone was like, it looked like so real, like it was a magic act. But it was like a hologram of him that just like vanished, and people thought he actually disappeared. I don't know, but he looks like a great fucking performer. Like, I would love to see him. I've never been to a rap concert, so
I don't think I have either. I would have liked to go to that one. That would be great.
Same.
The next one was Moto Mami by Rosalia.
I've heard of her. Yeah.
Title I put was literally Fuck Off. I hated this so much.
No.
I gave it a 2 out of 10. With Rosalia's like first album, I thought it was really nice, just like really beautiful vocals, and it's one of those things where you listen to it and it's like, this is really soulful and like heartfelt and stuff. And then her second one was sort of similar but a bit lesser for me, but this was fucking painful. It is just so much experimentation just for the sake of it, and none of it sounds good. None of it's catchy at all. It's just so hard to listen to. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's just really try hard, you know? Especially with the like album cover, because the album cover is just like the most try hard, look how quirky I am type shit, you know?
Yeah, I'm just looking it up now to see. It's her third album. Oh, I see it. Yeah. It's trying to get, like, attention, like, you know, what a weird-ass album. I'm still going to listen to her stuff.
I doubt you'll like that. If you do, I'll be
probably
shocked.
Not.
Her first is really good, but yeah, that is just like, oh my god.
I mean, like I said, I thought the first Spelling album was decent, and you despised it, so I mean, maybe we'll see differently, but...
It's all in Spanish, by the way, like, she always just sings in Spanish, but, I mean, if the music's good, then that's great, but this was just, like, so bad. It's directionless and over the top for no reason.
I see she has a song with The Weeknd on there. Huh.
Yeah, and it sucks. It all sucks.
I mean,
I'm surprised I didn't give it a 1 out of 10. Anyway. I might as well. I really hated it.
Damn. Oh, I see there's a Mama Mama Plus. Is that like a deluxe thing?
That's like a deluxe thing, yeah.
We got something else to listen to then. Listen to those.
Great. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Then I finished Anderson .Paak's discography with Ventura. It's very much along the same lines of his last album before this, to where it has a very similar sound. I really don't know what else to say about it, because it is probably like his weakest, because it is so kind of cookie cutter Anderson .Paak. But even that is still it's a shame, but like even that is still a 4 out of 5. Like, I'm not complaining. Like, it's still great music that I'm willing to listen to, but like a standout track is King James. I like that track. I like What Can We Do? That features Nate Dogg. I don't know how he got Nate Dogg's vocals on there, because he passed away years and years ago, but that's just really impactful. song. So it has a lot of highlights. It really does. So yeah, it's still a great album. 4 out of 5.
I listened to Zeal and Ardor by Zeal and Ardor. It's their third album. I just thought it was good. It's not their best, but yeah, it's just really just good metal music with some really great vocals here and there. Some like really catchy moments, but yeah, I dig it. Not their best, but it's good.
Next one I listened to, I just randomly scrolled across this artist, Alexandra Savior, and I listened to her first album, Belladonna of Sadness. It was pretty good. It's kind of like, it's like a better version of what Billie Eilish is trying to do, honestly. Like with her sad, moody, like it's not sad and moody, but it's kind of like you can get that vibe from it, but she does it in just a better way, and the instrumentals are more not so
Do you
like
think
depressed.
you like it better because it's like different vocals? Do you think?
Maybe different vocal. It is very different vocals too. Maybe comparing it to Billie Eilish is a stretch, but like it was just some very solid like alternative pop. Yeah, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So it's a good album. I didn't know what to expect. Yeah, she only has one other album left, and I haven't listened to it yet, but she's pretty good.
Nice. I listened to Surrender by Maggie Rogers. It's her second album. Much like her debut, it's just the most generic shit ever with really annoying vocals and bland instrumentals. I gave it a 3 out of 10. That's probably very generous, honestly, but yeah, it wasn't great. I don't like her.
Man, I feel like these next few albums I could probably just like lump together because they're like by the same artist with the same score I gave to all of them, and it just stays so steady. It just stays so steady. Yeah. But yeah, I finished Ariana Grande's discography. I listened to Dangerous Woman, Sweetener, Thank You Next, and Positions. Dangerous Woman was, at first I had it at a 3.5, honestly. I thought it sounded really dated, just like that 2010s pop, overdone with all the features and all that shit. But I bumped it back up to a 4 because it is catchy. I like the sound, I like the production, I like some of the features, so that was great. Sweetener, I could say the same thing.
Sweetener is my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I really like Sweetener.
It is a switch up in sound. I should say that. It is
I think it contains her best song, honestly, and that's No Tears Left to Cry. I fucking love that song. It is such good production, and it's beautiful. The vocals are great. Fucking love it. Yeah, I just love that album. It's not perfect, but I do really love it.
I would put that up there in probably her top 3 albums, honestly. I probably would.
It's very good.
Yeah, it is, even though seeing Pete Davidson having a song named after him, fuck that guy. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know how he does it.
I love Blazed, the song with Pharrell Williams.
Oh,
that
yeah.
That song's awesome.
That one is.
Get blazed.
That is a good one. So yeah, that was definitely one of the better albums. And Thank You Next, I gave also the same score, 4 out of 5. I thought that one, it was very good, but like I just don't know if I like a lot of the lyrics and the attitude of the album. They're just kind of like so superficial and just kind of like cold, you know? Yeah, they are. And I'm just like, what happened? Like, cause yeah,
I wasn't a big fan of that. Like for me, like it was just like Sweetener, great, and then Thank You Next, okay, and then Positions, I don't like it very much, but yeah.
Yeah, because Positions, a lot of people don't really. I was looking at Letterboxd and fucking Music Board. God, I'm too used to movies, but I was looking at Music Board, and a lot of people do think Positions is like one of her worst albums. I think I was just riding the high of all of her albums, and I was listening to it like one after another, and it just kind of flowed. It flowed well enough for me to where I didn't really notice a drop in quality. I was like, yeah, it's still good stuff. It's not like one of her best or anything, but apparently good enough for me to give a 4 out of 5, which is maybe being generous, but I still liked it quite a bit. She surprised me with all of her albums. I thought I was gonna hate her, but I was like, this is some good shit still. Some good shit.
I think I put Positions in like my disappointing for that year because I felt like it was a bit disappointing to me, but not by like too much or anything. I still love the title track. The title track slaps.
Yeah.
Sort of going with No Tears Left to Cry, I think my other favorite Ariana Grande song is Bad Idea from Thank You Next. That song is so good.
Yeah. Even the title track from Thank You Next is good, but it's over freaking played. Like, I
Yeah,
heard
it
it so
is,
many
yeah.
times. It came out during a time where I was working in a retail store, and like all that. So we played the most popular songs, and I had to hear it like 10 times a day. And that
Yeah.
was like my first introduction to Ariana Grande, and I was like, this is, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Should I go through like four then?
If you
Because
want, I mean, I just figured those all, I had the same thing to say about all those. So like,
okay, my next one, I'll try and speed through them. But my next one was Alpha Zulu by Phoenix. They haven't had an album since I think 2017, and they came out with a new one, and I was just like, fuck yeah, Phoenix, I'm back. I really like Phoenix, but I gave it a 4 out of 10. Not a 4 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Jesus, I get so mixed up. But yeah, it's really, really good. It feels sort of like on the same level as their last album, honestly. Yeah, I want to re-listen to it more and like more about it. There were like 5 songs that I really loved, but I would recommend listening to The Only One because I've had that on repeat so much. That's a great song.
nice.
Next one I did was, I know you've heard this now and you'll probably talk about it later, but the new 1975 album, Being Funny in a Foreign Language. I put 4 out of 10, but I said probably their best, which is very surprising. Like I actually didn't hate this, and that's such a surprise to me because they're pretty much my least favorite band ever. I don't like them at
Damn.
all, but
Damn.
this one wasn't like too bad. Like it's still not good in my opinion, but there are like songs and moments that I do like, so it's like, wow, okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely get into that. But I feel so bad because I was looking at, on Instagram, everyone was posting their Spotify Wrapped, and Sarah's top artist was,
Yeah.
Sarah Popcorn Chat. Her top artist was the 1975, and so I felt so bad because I was just shitting on him, like, and then immediately saw her have her
Oh
top
no,
artist.
if you think that's shitting on them, like I've talked to her many times about like how much I don't like them. Like pretty much the running joke that we have together is like her favorite band is my least favorite band. Like I just can't stand them usually, but I'm glad that this wasn't terrible. So
I'll definitely get into that when I talk about it.
the next one was the new Bonobo album. It's called Fragments. I have never been that big into Bonobo. He's like sort of experimental, electronic, like really beautiful soundscapes and stuff like that, but his music hasn't ever really like appealed to me too much on a personal level or anything. I don't know what the fuck happened, but the dude like he blew my mind. Like this is very close to a 10 out of 10 for me. It's like
Damn.
it's a 9 out of 10. That's what I gave it because I want to re-listen to it again, but it is fucking fantastic. I just said that the dude like straight morphed into Mode Rat / Fortet, who are like 2 artists that I love so much, but it like felt so much like their music and it was just beautiful. So good. Like I would highly
Nice.
recommend that album. Like if you want to listen to like his stuff before that you can, but like this one was just a shock. I was like, "Oh man, loved it."
Bonobo, that's his name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just wrote it down.
Like the
I
monkey.
have a list. Oh, yeah, yeah. I wrote it down, so I'll definitely check that out.
All right, last one for now was the new album by Ash called Ray. You know when I was getting attacked by all those like Girl in Red fans and stuff like that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, this album was like actually higher up on that list, like worse for me. Her first album, and I really, really just hated it. I thought it was the most boring, bland, trash shit. Whatever, nothing interesting about it. This one, just as bad as her last album. 1 out of 10. So fucking bad.
Oh no,
I could barely stand listening to it. So yeah, don't listen to Ash. Ash sucks.
I won't. I probably
Oh my
won't.
god.
Damn.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, the next one, in between completing discographies of Ariana Grande and the 1975, I randomly listened to A$AP Rocky's first album called Live Love A$AP.
That's a goofy name.
It is, and it's a goofy album because I didn't really care for it that much. Like I like A$AP Rocky. I like that type of rap, and I could tell it was a debut. Just pretty rough, not really catchy, kind of boring. Honestly, it's not even bad. I would just call the album just kind of boring. So I gave it a 3 out of 5. So it's still decent to me. But the whole time I was listening, I was like, there's no standout tracks. Like, it's totally listenable rap, but I don't know. It was just whatever.
Next one was Ugly Season by Perfume Genius. I quite like Perfume Genius usually, but for this one, it was a bit disappointing because it's really not as good as his last album, and it felt like he just sort of morphed into, like, arca or like even like Bjorkish type stuff, really. In my opinion, but it just felt like that sort of music to me, and that's not really what I feel like he's all that good at. So it just wasn't that interesting. I totally zoned out of it half the time. But yeah, his last release was way better, so that was a bit of a disappointment. But there was one good song in it called "Eye in the Wall." I did like that song.
He's been on my list of artists to listen to. I haven't heard any of his stuff at all, but he's been on my list.
He's good. I don't think he's amazing, but he's good.
I started my journey of the 1975 for whatever reason, and yet again I was just looking for popular bands to get through, and fucking hell, their first album, the 1975, it's the same shit over and over and over. It's just beating me over the head with the same. First, it's going to be a bit of a rant. This guy can't sing. He just can't sing. His idea of singing is yelling. What are you doing? It's just not, it's not pleasing to the ears. And every song, I feel like every song had the same vocal melody. It's just shit like that. And it's just, oh my God. It's just beating me over the head with the same damn vocal melody, the same damn instrumentals. It felt like I was trapped in a purgatory of just the same sounds, and I was like, when am I escaping? That's the
1975 experience, baby.
They're like a void. The 1975 is just like a mainstream void of this sound. Look, I'm sorry, Sarah, if you're listening, but like they're just not for me. And honestly, I am being generous with my scores because I still gave it a 2.5 out of 5. So I'm still being generous. I don't know why. I think
you don't have to be generous.
No, I don't have to be, but if you look at my scores, like my graph on Letterboxd and compare it to my graph on Music Board, I'm way easier on music for whatever reason, just because it is so much more subjective. I feel like I appreciate like what they try to be, if that makes any sense. Like I know that it has an audience. I'm just not part of the audience, and I don't think their music is actually bad. I just think it's not for me.
I think it's actually bad.
I think some songs here and there are straight up bad. I don't know. Maybe I am being generous because I keep saying it's a bad album and I have it at 2.5. Whatever.
Just re-rate it. I don't know.
I'll re-rate them probably, maybe, but
I think we talked about like I talked about like the 1975 on one of the first episodes we did, because I mentioned how like a podcast I listened to, one of the members got like dragged along by his girlfriend to one of their concerts, and the dude like stopped the concert in the middle to talk about climate change for like 30 minutes or something.
God, that reminded me of their. We'll get to that when I get to that album, because they beat
they
are that too.
That's why I don't like them so much. Like that mixed with the music itself. My God.
Yeah, they're just not subtle at all.
Next one for me was The Great American Novel by Proper. They're like quite a good band. They're not amazing or anything to me, but this was their newest release and it's probably their worst. I gave it a 4 out of 10. I didn't hate it or anything, but just out of all their albums, it just fell flat. The instrumental feels really overdone at this point, and a lot of the lyrics are honestly overly preachy, and they just didn't get much out of me, so it's a bit of a disappointment, but it's not terrible or anything, I guess.
That's too bad. Next one I listened to, a string of long and overly indulgent album titles, but I Like It When You Sleep. Well, I have to click on it because it doesn't even show up the full fucking title.
I know the name. I know the name because I cringe at it.
I like it. It's a cringy title, but I like it when you sleep, for you are so beautiful yet so unaware of it. Yet, despite the cringy title, I actually think this is their best album. I'm not saying it's good, but I think it's their best. I know you don't agree, but it had some of the same qualities of their first album, but they varied up their sound enough for me. And to be honest, maybe this is because I just came off their first album, and then this was like saving me from the same sound of the first album, so I view this maybe better. I don't know if that's why, but I can't put into words why I think it's their best. It's not the same shit over and over like their first album was. So still, I gave it a 3 out of 5. So yeah, it's being generous, but I don't know. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, I will say nothing.
I think I will give them this. With each album, the lead singer gets less and less obnoxious sounding for me. He gets less and less obnoxious
I
sounding.
think his best vocal work is on the new one. I mean, in general, I don't think he's a great vocalist anyway.
I don't
and it's
think
not
so
a great
either.
band.
No.
Next one was Formentera by Metric.
Mm.
Yeah, the new Metric album. Really good. 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I thought it was really experimental for what they've usually been doing lately, so that's great, and it paid off very well. I love Metric so much. They're amazing.
Nice. Yet again, I plan on listening to them. The only thing I've heard from them is the Cosmopolis score. That's
Sorry?
all I've heard. Their score that they did with Howard Shore for the movie Cosmopolis.
They did that?
Yeah. The Cosmopolis soundtrack it's music by both Metric and Howard Shore together. So it's pretty cool.
I think I actually remember hearing about that, but I just completely forgot until you just said it.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, I guess. Oh God. Here, the next one. A brief inquiry into online relationships. I think my album review for this on Letterboxd, I said started off promising, then it went downhill, because the album, it started off like, okay, the tracks honestly aren't that bad, and then it just like it dwindled into the same depressing song ballads, and I just hate when they try and do that.
I think that's my least favorite one, that album.
Really? Yeah, I mean, it's yet another 2.5 out of 5, so pretty low, just bland shit.
But they also try to experiment too much on that, and sometimes it's like, ugh. They did like this one like sort of robotic type song where it was just like this robot talking or something like that. And,
fuck that one.
And
ugh.
like I actually
wasn't he telling a story?
Everybody was comparing it to a song called Fitter Happier by Radiohead. And they were like, this is like it is basically just a rip off of that song.
Yeah.
So like that was the final nail in the coffin for me. I'm like, fuck you, 1975, god damn it.
Yeah, that was cringe. Like the song "The Man Who Married a Robot" is cringe AF. Like it just is.
The next one was Profound Mysteries by Royksop. I just want to read what I wrote, honestly. It's not long or anything, but I gave it a 9 out of 10. I said, I nearly cried. Since Royksop had announced they were abandoning the album format back in 2015, I have felt heartbroken because they're such a special and distinctive duo. I am so fucking glad they've come back with 3 albums this year. And if the first one is anything to go by, the others are going to be fantastic. This was unreal. The second track nearly made me tear up, and it's only instrumental, purely because it's like so them, and it was unexplainably beautiful. Some of the midsection of it didn't interest me quite as much, but I have no doubt it'll be better on a re-listen. They're just one of my favorite artists like ever. I fucking love them, and this was amazing. I can't believe they came back. So
nice. Yeah. That's good.
I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, so Notes on a Conditional Form, the fourth, what is this, the 4th album of theirs? God, it was such a chore, and I was like cleaning the apartment as I was listening to it, and I thought that the cleaning was less of a chore than the music. So like, yeah, so,
oh my God.
And you said that, you thought their last album before this, A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships, you thought that was over experimental, or not like
occasionally
that. Occasionally, but I don't know, I thought that Notes on a Conditional Form was actually their most experimental, because it was their most outside of their sound. The way they were introducing like these country elements, which I didn't really like, but at least they were trying something different. Oops. Banging my phone around. But yeah, so like my Letterboxd review, or fucking hell,
again. Jesus, Quinn.
My music board review. I said they're evolving just backwards. Because it sounded like, oh, they're switching up their sound, but it's not good. So
no.
Yeah, and then but I said, for real though, this is frustrating. It has some of their best songs on here, but still managed to be a sappy slog, because I really thought it had some real highlights out of all their albums.
I think I can sort of agree on that. I think that album wasn't like as bad as the others, and it had some moments, like just moments where I was like, yeah, this is
Right.
okay.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. Like I would get one surprisingly good song and then followed by like three just like shit same songs. I don't know. So yeah, still 2.5 out of 5, still being, generous with that score probably. Like I said, I can appreciate what they try to do, but it's just not for me.
If it's just not for you, you don't have to rate it that way.
No, I know. It's not because, like, I don't know. My method to rating music is weird, like I said, but I didn't like how this album opened up with a speech, like, I'm being talked down to. Like, it went on this
Oh,
long
wasn't it the
tangent
one with the
about.
Greta Thunberg speech?
I think this is, yeah.
Oh
This is the
god,
one with the
that
Greta Thunberg
fucking
speech.
killed me. I was like, no way he's opening the album this way. Oh my god.
That's the worst way to, like, that's not how you pull somebody into an album. That, like, just makes you not even want to listen to it. Like, it's so annoying. And I get that they're trying to speak on important issues, but this is not the way to go. You're
No.
being annoying. Yeah.
Really annoying.
So yeah, that was bleh. Anyway. Yeah.
Well, the next four that I get into, I've only listened to today, so I haven't rated them, but I can give like a general rating from what I'm feeling right now. The Family by Brockhampton. Right now, I'm sort of like, I don't know. It's like between 6 and 7 out of 10 right now, and I don't like that it is, but maybe it'll grow on me on a re-listen. I don't know, but it's just it didn't interest me quite as much. There were great songs, but it didn't pull me in much at all.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
totally hear that. Like I said, I gave it a 7. So like I wish I was giving it higher, but I've accepted the fact that they're not gonna like match the Saturation Trilogy and Iridescence. Like those 4 albums in a row, it's just peak Brockhampton, honestly. Like for me, so
Even then, I feel like their last 2 were better than this one. But I don't know. I'll have to re-listen still.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're probably right. Yeah.
I did really like All That, Boy Band, and Any Way You Want Me. I like those. Those were good songs.
Those were a rewatch could or a re-listen could help for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned this album, but finally I finished their fucking discography, Being Funny in a Foreign Language by the 1975. This one is probably their second best album. Like you said, it was probably their best. And so I totally see why, because for one, it's short. It's the shortest album, I think, right? Yeah.
Because their albums are like really long usually.
They are. So there's already one good thing. Also, I just thought the instrumentals were better than some of their other ones. It's really like pulling at strings as to why I like this one more than the others. I don't know, but still a 2.5 out of 5. So they're consistently very mid to mediocre for me. Mid to mediocre. I don't think they're like the worst band ever. I've definitely heard probably worse music, but I can't call any of their stuff good. So.
I just think they're the worst band ever for me because it's like it's consistently terrible. Like
yeah,
I haven't seen another band be that consistently terrible. Usually.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad I finally finished that.
I listened to Can't Get Past the Lips by Broncho, and that's like another artist that Julia's been wanting me to listen to. And that's their first album. Totally fine, just passable, sort of like enjoyable punk rock. I imagine they get better as they go on, but this was just really just like 20 minutes long, fun punk rock. That's it. I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10 right now, but yeah, it's good.
Nice. The next one I listened to, this is a rapper that I've actually heard like almost all of his stuff, but nobody ever really talks about him, and he's got like 1 million Spotify followers, so like he has a fan base, but he's part of that new generation of rap, so I don't know if you like any of it, but his name is 24 Hours. That's his rap name. This is like his 7th album, and it's called 12 a.m. in Atlanta 2, and it's a decent, totally average rap album. Nothing special about it. I was just wanting to complete his discography, and yeah, it's just a totally average rap R&B-ish album. Nothing special about it, but it's not like bad at all. So 3 out of 5.
I listened to Changes by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and that's they released like the 3 albums I talked about in this episode like in the same month. It was all in October. Yeah, this was their third from the October trilogy, I guess, and I do think it's the best one, maybe, between that and Laminated Denim, but I would have to give them both re-listens, I think. But Changes was actually like quite good. It is another one of those things where it's like it feels like it's getting a bit recycled sometimes, but there were moments that actually like made me go, oh, this is really nice, like this is great. I think the first song is like fucking 12 minutes long or something like that. Like they're doing that a lot lately, where they just have like really long moments for some reason, and I don't know if I like all of them, but some of them are good. But I mean, surprisingly with this one, like that was one of the songs that I like the most on here, so that's good. I have hope for them in the future, hopefully, but it's just like they need to.
They're falling off, like you said.
I don't want them to fall off though. Like I have too much love for Gears. Like I love them so much.
But you wouldn't say have they made like a bad album, or is it just kind of like, oh, they have?
But that it was like their second album. Their second album is pretty terrible in my opinion, but everything else has either been like good or great or just mid, you know.
Hopefully they come back. And then second to last album I finished 24 Hours discography. He had one more album after this called Real Walker. Yet again, same thing I said about his last album can apply. The only reason I listen to this guy is because he does have a really distinct voice, and it's totally not for everybody though. Like he has kind of like a high pitched voice, so like instantly I know it's him. And he uses a lot of autotune, so like it's not for everybody. But this was a decent album, decent rap album. Nothing special about it. 3 out of 5. Yeah, he's kind of a mid rapper, but he has one great album, honestly, like one great album. So yeah.
All right, the last one. It is an album called Contravoid by a guy called Contravoid. I could not tell you how this got saved in my like Spotify. Like I think I was just maybe looking for something that was similar to another artist, and I saved like this guy's albums or whatever. But I listened to his first album. It's from like 2012 or something. It was okay. It's just the problem that I have with it is that it really could have done without the vocals. Like if there weren't vocals in it, it probably would have been a better album. But it's it's totally fine. It's not amazing or anything, but it's just fine. It's like really weird experimental electronic stuff, but not too experimental. Some of it's really like upbeat and pop like sometimes. It's a bit of a mess, but it's not bad.
Okay, last one that I had. I listened to this morning before this recording, actually, because I was at the gym. It's part of I have to do my morning routine before the recording to really get in the zone or awake. So I was just chipping away at like the playlist of all these albums I have to listen to, and I was listening to, this is kind of a re-listen because I've heard a ton of tracks off of it, but the second album from A$AP Rocky called Long Live A$AP. So not Live Love A$AP, but Long Live A$AP. And it's I didn't know if it was going to hold up because it sounds dated here and there. Like freaking Skrillex is on a song and I'm like, this is kind of dated. Yeah. So like it sounds kind of dated at times, but man, it held up. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. I thought the instrumentals were fucking awesome. Like it's not even him as a rapper that I really like, but his instrumentals on this album, they're so unique. They vary from one another and they're catchy and like great songs off of it. The opening track, Long Live A$AP, Goldie, Level, Hell, Fucking Problems, which features freaking Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Like that's a banger. Oh, yeah. It's just a great rap album. So I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. And that was the last thing I listened to. So, all right. So let's get into listener questions.
Yay.
Yay. Okay, so from Movies That Don't Suck, sends in a question every time. Thank you, man. He said, favorite Linkin Park album/song. Mine is Breaking the Habit. So I love the first 2 albums from Linkin Park. I actually think the second album is perfect. Meteora, I really think it's like a perfect album. So that's my favorite album from them. And Breaking the Habit, honestly, I might be with him on that. That might be like one of their best songs. I don't know. I think Somewhere I Belong is their best song. Somewhere I Belong. But they have so many good songs, so yeah.
I am a bad man. Okay, so I grew up like with Minutes to Midnight. I love that album so much. And like years after that, I listened to Hybrid Theory. I really, really love that so much. But I've not heard any others yet.
No way,
I haven't
man.
heard Meteora yet. But I plan to. It's just like I love so much of Linkin Park. Like I do. I really, really do. It's just I haven't gotten into them like properly, you know? Because
I hope you love Meteora. That
minutes
shit is
minutes to
incredible.
midnight and like some of their other songs as well meant the world to me when I was a kid.
See, I haven't even finished all their albums yet. I think I've heard some of Minutes to Midnight. I definitely have heard some of it, but for me, it was always I grew up with the CD of Hybrid Theory, and then I came across Meteora, and it just incredible, blew me away. Like, there's not a bad track on that album in my opinion.
I really think that Hybrid Theory and Minutes to Midnight are perfect albums in my opinion.
Really. Hybrid Theory has like maybe one or two songs I'm not like when it comes to High Voltage, I don't really like that much. I think
I just love it all for what it is, honestly. It's just that like mid 2000s rock, and it's really angsty, and it's actually well produced as well. Chester Bennington kills it so much. I love that guy.
That's true. And I'm excited but also kind of scared to go further into their albums because I know that they go more and more pop, and I don't know if I like that. Like
I think Keelan said that like one of the worst albums he's heard is their latest one, and it sounds shitty to say because of what happened and all that, but apparently it's just really bad.
I listened to a few tracks off of it, and it doesn't even sound like their stuff now or from the early stuff. So yeah, anyway, my favorite song is either Somewhere I Belong or Runaway from Hybrid Theory. I think that's a great song.
I'd say favorite album, Minutes to Midnight, just because I have so much nostalgia for it. And my favorite song's probably still on there as well. In Pieces, I really love that song. Like the guitar in that, and like the way it like just keeps getting faster as it goes. It's like, oh my god.
You'll have to let me know as soon as you listen to Meteor though, because like
I will. Yeah,
it's it could be in my top like 10 albums of all time for all I know. Like it
feels so blasphemous that I haven't heard it yet. It does. Like I
well,
hate
that's
that I
exciting though, because I'm looking forward to when you listen to it. So then, the next question I got was from Rod Movies. It's not a question, but it's a recommendation. He said, I'd like to recommend the rock band Dorothy.
Now, let me tell you, Quinn, why you shouldn't listen to Dorothy. I'm sorry, Rod Movies, but no. They have 3 albums. One of them is from this year, actually. I'm boycotting it. I'm not listening to it. Because, like, I've heard their first 2. They're very just generic, like punk rock, and the vocals are very mid. It's just I don't like it very much, and I said that when I posted her album on my worst list back in like 2018 or something like that, and she called me a eunuch. and she shouted me out on her story and stuff, and like said, you know, how I'm just like pathetic, and like, has your song ever gotten on the radio or whatever, and all that shit. Like she was the most petty bitch that I've ever seen. And I was like, I have no respect for her. I don't want to support her music at all anymore. I'm fine with artists that I like, you know, don't like or whatever. I'm fine to see if they improve with more listens. Like I said with Stella Donnelly. Fucking hated her first album. Her new album is like an 8 out of 10 for me. I'm happy to do that, but with her, it got personal. Not doing it.
Yeah. Some people just can't take criticism.
Just take it on the chin, like just.
Yeah, it's not like you're calling her a shitty person. You just said the music isn't like you didn't like the music. Yeah, that's it. But hey, you know what they say? Any type of publicity is good publicity. So at least her followers all got to see you. Maybe if I don't know.
There's been like 3 music fan bases now that have attacked me.
Isn't that funny how that happens with music but not film? Like
not nearly as much.
No, like you don't see a director like sharing your shit and saying like fuck this guy, or like, and then you just don't, that doesn't happen as much. But I don't know.
No. Don't listen to Dorothy, Quinn. She sucks.
I won't. I really won't.
I'm sorry, Rod Movies, but I can't.
Yeah. All right. Then the last question we got was from All Right So Reviews. He asked, most widely varied discography you've listened to. Now, does he mean like in terms of sound? Like,
I think it's like in terms of how much they change things up, and you know, it's like just a very varied style and all that.
God, I should have thought about this. Fuck. If you have one, you can go. I might just skim through my artists. Oh, okay.
I was thinking Primal Scream, actually. Their first 2 albums are like solid, just enjoyable punk rock and stuff. Then they get into one album that's like all out, just trip hop, really weird experimental stuff, but it's one of the most classic albums ever made. It's incredible. And then they go back to like rock, but then they switch it up a bit every now and then in the album and make it really experimental and weird. And then there's like straight up just like techno albums here and there, hard rock albums. It's like they are just like so varied. Like you will get something that you like in Primal Scream no matter what.
I added all their albums to my playlist, so like some eventually I will listen to them. So they're on the list.
One of my favorite bands of all time. Seriously.
Yeah. This is difficult because, like, you know, it's hard to find an artist that switches up their sound so drastically. I know I could think of a better one, and he didn't switch up his sound like so drastically, but I really thought Childish Gambino, he totally switched genres. You know, from like his first two albums, Camp and what the hell's the one that everyone
Because
likes.
the internet.
Because the internet, yeah. His first two albums were like poppy, rap, whatever, and like I like it, but I think he honestly like kind of probably alienated a lot of fans with his third album, which is probably my favorite, Awaken My Love, because it is a total genre shift. And then he, even with his album after that, which doesn't really even have a name, it's just like dates or numbers, even that, it's going away from that sound again and like kind of something else. So he's like switching up his sound with each album. So I like that, and that's a varied discography. So
I'm hoping the next one's even more different. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I am excited. I don't know what he's going to do next, you know, because he's doing so many different things. Well, that was the last of the questions. So before we get into our usual ending stuff, yet again, I got to shout out our patrons who we are so thankful for. We got Kath.reviews.
Yeah.
Got moving _ pictures.
Yeah.
We got Kame Dak.
Dak.
And then we got our new patrons, like we said, Sarah's Popcorn Chat and Ardor Film. Like all 5 of them. Check out their Instagram pages. They all talk about movies. They're all great people. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. We want to do everything we can do to improve the podcast and make it more enjoyable. And I'm glad that you're supporting us and sticking with us.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Means the world. We love you. We're giving you a hug through the screen because you can see us now.
Yeah, there you go. A hug.
And even if you're listening on audio, we're still hugging you.
Yeah. Feel that? That's a pat on the back. That's a pat on your back right there. You can find me, as always, at Views by Quinn on all the social medias, Instagram, Letterboxd, Music Board, Goodreads, Serialized, all of that. Look out for the link trees in the description of the episode.
And you can find me at Movies Music Me. All my stuff is in the link tree under very different names. So there's like YouTube, the Instagram, that's the one. Letterboxd, Music Board, Serialized, Twitter, whatever, all that stuff. That's about it, I'd say. You know how we usually do a poll and stuff. Since this is a music episode, we haven't done a song recommendation in a while.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's true. We should do that.
What's something you've been enjoying recently?
I'll go with the last album I listened to from A$AP Rocky called Long Live A$AP. I'll recommend the song Fashion Killa. That's a great song. It's got a beautiful instrumental. It's just a nice vibe. Good stuff. Listen to Fashion Killa by A$AP Rocky.
I'll go in with a sort of similar genre, I guess, because it's like sort of R&B, soul, rap-ish, maybe. Hip-hop, whatever. Yeah, I'll go with Your Mind by Green Tea Peng, because I really, really love that song right now. The lyrics are fantastic. The whole vibe to it is beautiful. It's awesome. It's a great song.
So vote in the poll, people. Listen to both songs, obviously, first, and then vote. That'll do it. So, bye, everybody. And
bye, everybody.
Peace out, bitches. There you go. I went up and up and up.
You always go up. You gotta go down sometimes.